What's up, everybody? It's me, Crosspatch. I am back at the Pittsburgh Steelers practice facility once again, and the subject of today's video is how to play defense against the CPU in Madden 21. So this is a video aimed at beginners and inexperienced players. We're going to talk about simple defensive concepts. I'll outline which plays to use, when to call them, which adjustments to make, and because this is for beginners, it's all going to be super simple. The idea is to get these concepts under your belt, expand on them as you get better at the game, and this is actually an extremely simplified version of how I play defense in my own franchises. And it works well for me. You can check out any of my franchise videos on the channel, see these ideas in action. So if you are a new player struggling with defense, I hope this video helps. Please let me know in the comments how things go for you. So in this video, we're going to look at 2 different defensive formations and 3 different plays. And that's it. Like I said, it's going to be super simple. I'm going to give you examples of what plays I suggest calling, but it's up to you, and ultimately it's a lot up to the playbook you're going to use. So I'm going to have the multiple D playbook loaded up here. So we'll be able to look at everything I'm going to talk about, but try to think more about concepts, play types, what we're trying to accomplish by calling these plays rather than the exact plays. Because again, some of that's going to be determined by the playbook you're using. So the first formation we're going to look at is what we're going to consider the main defense of our scheme here. And again, depending on whether you have a 3-4 team or a 4-3 team, we'll look at both of those. I'm going to start with the 3-4 because I've got the Steelers here. So we're going to go 3-4 odd, pinch buck 0. So this is a man blitz, as you can see. Cover 0, we've got 5 guys in man-to-man coverage, and we've got our other 6 players coming downhill for the quarterback. So, this is obviously a very aggressive blitz in a passing situation. But it's also, and I talked about this in my how to stop the run video, this is also a very good defense for stopping the run. So rather than just stare at the play calling screen, let's go into our practice mode and see how we do. And they decided to run there, and you can see how effective it is there. But let's take a look at the replay. So in this defense, the strong points of it are basically the aggression of it. You've got, these linebackers, one of the inside linebackers coming, through one of the A gaps there. And then you've got the outside linebackers. Obviously, they both get picked up here, but they are aggressively coming upfield at the snap. And you also have your defensive backs in man coverage here in a good position to play the run. So a couple of things to think about here. It doesn't matter what player you want to use her. Some people like to use defensive backs. I like to use one of the inside linebackers. It doesn't matter. The important thing is make sure you're carrying out the assignment of whatever that guy's supposed to do. So in this situation, and it will flip depending on the strong side of the formation, but one of these guys is blitzing. The weak side linebacker is blitzing inside, and the other guy is going to be in pass coverage. So if your assignment, like they run the play obviously here, they run the ball, but if your assignment is to cover this halfback in man coverage, just make sure you do it. Don't get hung up by a play fake or something like that, or just make sure that you remember your assignment. So another reason this play is so effective, you can see this linebacker's blitzing, and he's got that all clogged up there, and he eventually slides off and makes the tackle. So it's an aggressive defense. It's a very good pass rush in a passing situation, and it is outstanding against the run. Now, the weakness of it is, you can kind of guess here. You've got all of your defenders in man coverage. So in this formation, it's not too bad. They're coming out with 3 tight ends. But, you know, what I'm going to tell you here, my advice is going to be, we are going to call this play on first down anytime the offense comes out with 3 or fewer wide receivers. So, as you can kind of guess, if they came out with 3 wide receivers, you're going to have a safety in a little bit of a mismatch on a wide receiver. And, of course, it depends how much of a mismatch is based on, who that safety is and who that wide receiver is. But typically, that's going to be a mismatch. So that is one of the negatives about running this scheme. But, the trade-off with the aggressive ability to play the run and the strong pass rush, because if these guys decided to throw and we could get a sack on first down, that's pretty big. That's good for our drive. We'll get those guys off the field probably pretty easily if we can do that. So we're going to call that play first down when the offense comes out with 3 wide receivers or less. We're also going to call this play anytime the offense comes out with 2 or fewer wide receivers on the field. So like you can see, they've got 2 or fewer wide receivers on the field, obviously, right now, right? Just Smith-Schuster. So if this was a third down, we want to use this defense. We're going to come out and heavy versus heavy. Okay? So that's the first thing. That's our first down defense. 3 or fewer wide receivers on the field, or any other down where they come out with 2 or fewer wide receivers. So the 4-3 version of that and I'm not super familiar with the 4-3 defenses, but conceptually, again, it's the same idea. Man blitz, outside linebacker fire man. We've got a cover 0. We've got 5 guys in coverage, and we've got 6 guys coming downhill. So again, let's hope for the best. And again, I don't have a lot of experience with 4-3s, but we'll see how it goes. And we had a guy way out of position, but that still wasn't a bad first down. Let's try another one and see what happens. I've got this. My assignment is this running back here, so I need to make sure. Oh no, that's no good. Well, if we didn't have a missed tackle there, that would have worked fine. So again, it's the same idea. We're going to have everybody coming downhill at the snap. We've got a good pass rush coming on the quarterback. And that's what can happen when you call blitzes. Like if you're sitting in cover 3 or cover 2 all the time, and quarterbacks are picking you apart, especially if you're playing on All Pro or All Madden, try playing a little more aggressively. You can see T.J. Watt here doesn't get a sack, and actually Dupree as well. Like, these guys don't get the sack, but because of their proximity to the quarterback, they force an errant throw. And this is something that's been true in Madden for a decade or more. Get pressure on the quarterback and make him make mistakes. Don't just sit there and let him take you apart. So that's another reason we're going to be playing a very aggressive defense in this scheme. So that's your 4-3 version of this if you run a 4-3 defense. We're going to move on to our next, and again, the same weaknesses for that. You've got the guys in man coverage. You're going to have a middle linebacker covering the halfback. Before we go on to the next formation, let's take a look at a couple more plays we can call in these situations. So when we were in the 4-3, we called pinch buck 0, right? We also could have called pinch Mike 0. That's effectively the same play, same concept. Cover 0. That's going to do the same thing for us. Excuse me. So that would have been fine. And in the 3-4, I'm sorry, the 4-3, we called outside linebacker fireman. We could have called free fire, same concept. And that would have given us an outside linebacker in coverage rather than an inside linebacker. What about thunder smoke? Same concept, right? Man blitz. That's a big no, though, right? Because we've only got 4 guys in coverage. So that means somebody, you know, the offense has 5 eligible receivers. So they're going to have somebody unaccounted for. So we're not going to call defensive like that. We're going to be smart. We're going to call plays where we have guys matched up. So let's move on to the nickel. We're going to look at a nickel formation that gives us 4 guys on the line of scrimmage. So nickel normal does that. You can see we've got 4 down linemen there. A couple others, the 3-3-5 Sam, 3-3-5 Will, effectively give us 4 down linemen, 3 down linemen and a stand-up linebacker on the line of scrimmage. And again, we're going to call a very aggressive play here. We're going to call Overstorm Brave. So you can see same concept as we called with our 3-4 and our 4-3 blitzes. We've got 5 players in coverage, and we've got 6 guys coming upfield to cause chaos. So the difference here, obviously, is we've got a little bit of a better matchup situation because we've got 3 cornerbacks on the field. So we are going to call this play on 2nd down, and we're going to call it on 3rd down in situations where it's 3rd and 7 or less. Okay, so that's the rule of thumb with this play. 2nd down or 3rd down when it's 3rd and 7 or less. And, again, we can take a look at it. Now, this is not a great play for stopping the run. It is better than some of the other nickel defenses. It gives you a shot at least. And, you've got these guys in man coverage. So we're going to hope that they're going to be able to cover the guys they're supposed to cover. But again, our goal is to get pressure on the quarterback and hopefully get plays like that. Even better is, a sack, incompletion. We'll run it once more. And your job, if you're using this linebacker, is you're blitzing. And so in some cases it can be good against the run. It's the same, like I said, same idea we're doing before. Everybody's coming downhill at the snap. And you've got 5 guys in coverage. So that we can stay aggressive and we can get a nickel on the field so that we have, we don't have to worry about a safety matched up against the 3rd wide receiver. So we're going to call this play on 2nd down or 3rd down and 7 yards or less. And we're going to stick with the same formation for our next play. We're going to stick with nickel. Cover 3 sky. We'll go random play. Again, not great for stopping the run. One of the things I do one of the things I do with my nickel set is I try to have a linebacker in this position here. You can put a safety there if you want, but to me, having a linebacker, especially if he can be a faster guy, like Williams isn't necessarily the fastest linebacker, but he's going to be blitzing in our scheme here, or he's going to be playing his zone coverage. So he's never ever going to have to. Unless you call a different play, he's never ever going to be in man coverage. He's always blitzing in this situation. So you don't have to worry about him getting beat by a running back. You don't have to worry about him getting mismatched on a tight end. These two linebackers are blitzers. These 6 guys up front are all coming for the quarterback. Or coming, when we're calling the cover 3, they're going to be playing a zone. And that's up to you. If you want to play a safety there, that's fine. But by having a linebacker there, I feel like we have a little bit of a better chance against the run. And the hope of calling this cover 3. Let's try to resume practice and see if he'll do it. Let's see if Ben will give us an example of what we're trying to show here. Yeah, that's what we want. So what will happen a lot of times when you call this cover 3 is he's going to take the easy routes, right? He's going to, and it's not really good football sense because, you've probably watched games and you've heard announcers say, don't run a route that's short of the line of scrimmage and stuff like that. But, he's going to throw this guy because he's wide open. And we're going to come up and make the tackle. So if you've got third, we're going to call this zone in 3rd and 8 or more. Because they're going to make that throw most of the time. He's either going to throw to this guy, or he's going to take like a check down in the middle of the field, like here. So, obviously we don't want to call this if it's 3rd and 4 or something like that, because if he hits this guy, he gets a first down. But, if it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12, and this guy makes a catch and we can tackle him immediately, we get them off the field. So we're going to call this play 3rd down and 8 or more. Okay? So we're calling our main defense on 1st down if there's 3 or fewer wide receivers on the field. We're calling our nickel overstorm brave on 2nd down, on 1st down if there's more than 3 wide receivers on the field, on 3rd down if it's less than 7 yards to go, and we're calling this 3 deep zone out of nickel, cover 3 cloud out of nickel if it's more than 8 yards to go, 8 or more yards to go. And that is the basic blueprint for this defense. Super simple. It is effective, especially if you play on All Pro or All Madden. You have to have a kind of a bend but don't break mentality. So, if you give up a few first downs, if you give up a touchdown on the opening drive, you've got to kind of stick with things. And, the other thing is, as you get better at the game, you kind of learn to adjust and you learn to adapt and, kind of just call different plays based on what you're seeing and, your experiences. So, adjustments. Let's go back. We're going to make the same adjustments for every single one of these things, okay? Let's go back to our pinch box 0, random play. We're going to pinch the defensive line, and we're going to shade coverage over the top. See what pressure. See what getting pressure on the quarterback can do there on first down? Because TJ Watt's coming at the snap. But the reason we pinch the defensive line is because we want to create a big old jam up right here in the middle. And that helps with stopping the run. And the reason we shade over the top is because we don't want to get beat deep. So, I make a lot of different adjustments on my defense. I make some adjustments that I'm not even sure if they really even matter. But there's a lot you can do once you get a little more comfortable with the game. You can, play bump and run. You can shade inside. You can shift your defensive line in different ways. All kinds of different things you can do. But just basically, these are two things you can do that will sort of help you out in the run and passing game. And, you can make those adjustments on all of these plays that we've talked about here. So finally, a few different scenarios to think about that you might want to call plays a little differently, besides the outline we made. If you are ahead, or if it's the end of a quarter, or the end of the half rather, and you just want to slow the defense down, not let them get down the field, not put yourself in the position where you're playing man coverage and possibly could get beat for a big gain. There's nothing wrong with just going to nickel and sitting in cover 3 sky for the last 2 minutes of the game. Like, you can throw all these rules we just talked about out the window. Just play cover 3 sky. If you've got the lead, now if you've got the lead like by, 4 points or something like that, you might want to rethink that. You may want to be more aggressive so that they don't get a score on you. But if you're ahead by 2 touchdowns, you're just trying to kill the clock. You're just waiting for the game to end, basically. Just sit in that cover 3, slow them down, and let them, throw underneath routes until they wear themselves out, and then you can get out of the game. Other than that, try different, as you get better, try different things. Try different zone coverages, try different blitzes. But kind of remember that concept. We're trying to, it boils down to this, basically. We're trying to punch the offense in the face on first down, get them at a loss. We're trying to play aggressively on second down and not allow them, to complete a pass or to gain any more yards. And on third down, we're trying to get them off the field, whatever that takes, whether that means playing a cover 3 or whether that means, being aggressive again. So, some things to think about. I hope this video helped. I hope it wasn't too confusing. And, it's all a process, especially if you're playing on all Madden and all pro levels. A lot of things you learn as you play will go into how you make adjustments and how you compensate for what the offense is doing. But again, I hope it helped. And go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed this, please. Whatever you decide to do, I hope you have a great day. And I will see you next game.